welcome. It is Thursday. It is time for more Fallout New Vegas Old World Blues. My goal is to maybe finish Old World Blues. I'm not sure how to do that. I'm not sure what I have to do to finish it. Right now I'm trying to get my brain to get out of its jar, and I have not been successful in that. I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of dialogue in this one, and it's kind of starting to lose me at the end of like a really long monologue from any of the robots. So I did notice one thing I didn't do while I was editing the last video that we're going to try and do today, but honestly I don't know how else to progress without getting 75 speech, and we are miles away from that. I mean, there's obviously a bunch of stuff that we didn't do. There's things that don't have their little personalities yet, but excuse me, brain.
Ah, the meat has returned. Lovely.
Okay, so this is the option we did not pick, which is fine, you can stay here. Not like I need this hassle.
Oh no, you don't need this hassle. You're too busy treating your body like a canvas of sucking flesh wounds to deal with your brain.
Okay then, I'm going.
Good, go!
I will.
Fine!
Great.
I know it's great.
Well, so long then. I'm going back to the think tank. They promised to let me out.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
I mean, that doesn't seem so bad. Yeah, what's so bad about letting the brains out? They don't seem that terrible. I think this is what's, you know, Morbius was kind of like not evil and then they're going to turn out to be the bad guys, right?
Don't seem so bad. They vivisected us just to see what would happen. Have you forgotten the lobotomites? The cyber dogs, I assume you saw those. Imagine that kind of science spread across the entire Mojave. Every man, woman, and child we've met reduced to a lobotomite. Is that what you want?
I mean... Then let's go make them share. Come on, brain, it's stomping time.
Oh, lovely. We've reached the mindless violence portion of the program. Tell me, what exactly are you, and I use the word loosely, planning?
I have no plan. Oh, I can have no plan. I can have no plan. So we'll just say, let's just say violence is the last resort of the civilized man, and I'm feeling mighty uncivilized.
With an attitude like that, it's small wonder you got yourself shot in the head.
Yeah. Okay, so either we can try to up our stats and have that conversation again, or we can just power through. Let's try to power through. What's it going to take to convince you?
I'd like to find a nice little place to live, maybe in Good Springs, and settle down where we won't get shot at.
Yeah.
Not as often, at any rate.
Okay.
But since that doesn't seem likely, what's your plan?
If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. Let's go. I'll handle the brains. You stay here. You'll be more useful outside my head. So those are our only two options now because we have no skills. Our skills need to be at 75. So what was it? Guns? We were in the 30s for everything that it was, except for unarmed. So we'd have to level up like 3 times to even get close. Ugh. If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. Let's go.
Very well. I suppose I have no choice. Goodbye, peaceful, soothing brain jar. Hello, head wounds and scorpions. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Clyde will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Whoa, whoa, there it goes. It looks like a little man with the helmet. Going, ooh. Use your sync auto dock to retrieve your heart and spine. Oh, it's that they're just like chilling? Alright, that's fine. But don't we have better things without them? Is it under perks? Yeah, brainless is that. What was the other one? Heartless? Filters your heart, allowing all healing items to function at a higher level. Robots are now confused by you and 50% less likely to score a critical hit. That's good. So maybe we wait for that. And then the other one was something about a spine. Your torso can no longer be crippled and your strength and damage threshold have been increased. I mean, that seems cool. Why would we need our original stuff back? Okay, Morbius, I'm gonna go talk to them. So, thank you. Yeah, the endless monologuing, I gotta say, I'm really not quite invested and or following the story. So I don't understand mostly what happened. Because the beginning of this DLC was 20 minutes of talking. And I checked out after about 5. Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Oh. Okay, so this is the end. This is the end. This is our final boss fight. I don't know that I'm prepared for this at all. Right? 97 science. This is our only skill that we have a shot of utilizing. Hello, everybody. That looks pretty scary. Why is it red?
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
Oh, they wanted me to kill Morbius. I didn't get that. I think you're past due for your lobotomy, Klein.
A fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I... Ah! Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
Okay, so that went immediately to... that went immediately to fight. I didn't do the first thing. Let's try that again. If all we have is to fight because we failed all those checks, that's fine. I don't care. Let's try it again.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are gonna settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
So the only way is speech? I mean, I know that's kind of like a meme, a Fallout New Vegas meme. But, come on, man. Do you think I killed Morbius?
Yes! Wait, you did, didn't you?
No.
You are lying. No, you are not. Your heartbeat, perspiration, all excessively confident and sure of yourself. Why would you reason with that maniac? He'll destroy us all!
Again, just speech? No science? We're in science land? No science speech checks? I can't let you dissect the Mojave. Maybe you should confer with your colleagues first.
Nonsense. Confer, colleagues. Those are two words I do not recognize.
Dr. Klein, I must intersect. Please, do not harm the lobotomite.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect it until it's dead. Why the sudden intersection, Dalla?
I cannot stand a sweet breathing organism breathing in and out to suddenly not breathe. We must keep it alive. For study. Slow study.
Yala, these vocalized pauses are unlike you. What do you care?
Fine. Are you sure we've calculated all the combat probabilities here? I mean, the lobotomite confronted Mobius. Plus, you know, we haven't had a COMBAT drill in forever. I don't think we could form a tactical attack triangle if we wanted to.
Releasing the WOMBAT was not my plan, so get off my voice box.
Silencing opinionators.
Yeah, what about you? I talked to you.
Why are you acting like this? You've never refused to commit necessary surgery before. And this lobotomite needs its surgery.
I think he's standing up for me. Are you standing up for me? This is going on for a really long time.
A noble speech, but there's no room in my vocabularies for friend and lobotomite in the same sentence. The very concept, revolting. Perhaps you are irradiated with camaraderie radiation. We have chems for that. We can save you from your emotional addiction. Why am I even listening to you fools? The determinators are greater than the hesitators, so hesitators, be quiet. We are bigger, smarter, and floatier than you, lobotomites. We don't wish to fight you, so surrender your brain, now.
Again, speech is the only way past this. You may have noticed the pacification field is down. Guess what happens now?
Fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I... Ah! Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
Alright, now apparently we fight, so let's get out of our... Let's put our armor on. We have our good weapon.
Behold the power of science!
So this is Dr. Klein. Wow, I didn't hit him at all. I hit him not at all.
I will unleash the entire power of our atomic attacks!
I don't want to... Why am I... Why is VATS failing me so much? Oh, you know what? I bet my stim packs are unfavorited. Because that's been happening. Yup. Sorry, Dala.
The lobotomite! It has come for us!
I am not. I need to, like, get with it today. My first fight. I'm not warmed up. And you're like, no, this is literally how you always are. Well, that guy dodged.
The lobotomite! It has come for...
I mean, that can't be the end fight. That was easy. Should we go talk to Morbius? Look at all the stuff that they have. That was kind of sad. All right. What are we doing? Like, what? Leave the think tank. Oh, but I also want to get my... I guess I should get my stuff back. Should I get my stuff back? Probably not. This is better. Alright, leave.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it.
I did?
And keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others.
Why?
Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
Although, truth be told, the courier had barely explored the crater in an attempt to rush through and be done with the whole thing. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The thing continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with the lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
I lost the brainless perk. Okay. I have thoughts. Okay, so that was a very underwhelming ending. Also, I didn't have all my organs intact. I did not go get my heart. So I guess they only were talking about the brain, but they said it twice. They're like, everything intact, which I'm not. Also, again, I started zoning out about halfway through. This DLC has more talking than any DLC I've ever played of any game in my life. Too much talking. So, final rating, Old World Blues, 3 out of 10. It's the final rating. I gained the big brain perk. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled. You are only 10% more resistant to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%. You've acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Plunder. It's capable of transporting you, and you alone, between the Mojave Wasteland and the Big Empty. To return to the Mojave or go back to the Big Empty from the Mojave, simply equip the Transportal Plunder. As you would any weapon, pull the trigger and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations and is totally incapable of harming your enemies.
Let's go!
Okay, so here's my spine. here is my heart. And I guess this would be where my brain would be, but I took it. I took it back. All right, let's leave everything else. That's fine. I don't need a spine or a heart. So we can go anywhere we want now. But the game crashed. Do you think it's saved before we finished it? We have to do the whole fight over again. We don't have to have the conversation, honestly.
Behold the power of science!
Look, I'm failing all the quests, but I'm sorry. Y'all... That's not my fault, because last time I didn't fail the quest, I still had to kill you. I really just don't want to sit through the end screen again. I told you I just had to warm up. This is going much better. It's going much better than the last time. Alright, we done? Let's go ahead and do a safety save, I guess. I didn't think we'd have to do a safety save there, but... There you go. Can we skip the final?
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century.
And then the other thing, what other thing did I not like about it? I don't know. I don't know. 3 out of 10. Would not recommend. We're gonna do Honest Hearts next though.